The theme of today's meeting accurately captures the three most important issues that concern northern Nigeria. That is peace, unity, and development. Threat to peace in the form of insecurity, which manifests as banditry, insurgency, farmer-herder clashes, and communal violence represent the single biggest threat to the survival of Nigeria and indeed northern Nigeria, which is a composite part of it. These security challenges are eating into the very bond that unites us as northerners. Without security, there can be no unity. And without security and unity, there can be no development. The security situation in the north has reached a point where silence, hesitation, and routine response are no longer acceptable. Entire communities have been uprooted. Farmers have abandoned their farms, and markets have collapsed. Schools have been shut down, while millions of our people have been displaced or forced to live in fear. The time has come for us to act with the seriousness that this situation demands. Enough of meetings that do not produce results. Enough of communiques that are not implemented, and enough of promises that are not followed by action. All the methods are clearly not working. We cannot continue to confront rapidly changing security threats with outdated strategies and fragmented response. At our last meeting on the 2nd of December in 2025, the Northern Nigeria Governors Forum resolved to establish a common security framework. But that framework is still on the drawing board because many of us, I repeat, many of us, have not followed our obligations. And meanwhile, the situation is worsening. The next joint meeting of the Northern States Governors Forum with the Council, that is this Council, scheduled for Kaduna on the first week of July in 2026, must therefore focus on actionable steps. We must find a clear pathway that can provide a workable solution to all the crises that the North is facing. We must restore law and order, and that we can do in conjunction with the support of the federal agencies. I'm happy that the IGP himself is here, and already the federal government, through the National Assembly, has approved constitutional amendment to accommodate state policy. And that, I believe, is going to help us in providing security in our localities. There must be no safe havens for criminals, no tolerance for those who finance or collaborate with them, and no ambiguity in the government's resolve to protect its citizens. The honest truth is, these security challenges do not occur in a vacuum. They have their roots deep in decades-long underdevelopment. Today, 86 million Northerners, representing 65% of our region's population, face multidimensional poverty. A staggering 80% of Nigeria's 18.3 million out-of-school children reside here in the north. In a country where 60% of our population is below the age of 35, a hungry, jobless, and illiterate youth is nothing more than a cheap recruitment pool for banditry, insurgency, and other criminal adventures. The challenge before us, therefore, is to reverse this dangerous trend before it gets too late. This can be achieved through radical overhauling of our security architecture. The current conversation, as I mentioned earlier, on state policing reform offers some hope. And I would like to commend Mr. President and the National Assembly for their support towards a reform we have long championed. It is our firm belief that state policing will greatly help address these challenges when done in conjunction with the traditional institution. And I can take us back to history. When the colonial masters came into Nigeria, they conquered us and established their own style of administration. But realizing that there was a system, especially in the north, that provided for security, that provided for justice, that provided for equity, and that provided for everybody, they maintained it and instilled what they call, or what we call nowadays, indirect rule, using the traditional institution. Luckily for us, the traditional institution is still around, and nothing stops us from harnessing it. This is why your role as royal fathers is greatly required as traditional rulers. And our people hold you in deepest trust at the grassroots. And as custodians of local vigilance, you are our first line of defense. You must lead the way in ensuring an effective early warning and intelligence networking. Suspicious movements, strange settlements, recruitment activities, and emergent tensions must be reported promptly through secure and trusted channels. You are not just ceremonial figures, you are essential partners in security, unity, and the development of our great country. In our efforts to adequately confront such challenges, we must invest in both kinetic and non-kinetic approaches. On the kinetic front, we must equip our security agencies with modern tools and flush out criminals from our sanctuaries and maintain zero tolerance for any form of criminality. However, force alone is not enough. We must also address the root causes through socio-economic development by harnessing our agricultural and mineral resources, returning our children to classrooms, and equipping our youth with skills and expertise in order to realize their God-given potentials. We must also promote and protect our unity through interfaith dialogue and mutual respect for one another. These steps are essential because if we do not aggressively develop our human capital, and if we do not return our children to classrooms and do not fix our broken agricultural and industrial systems, no amount of money expended on kinetic hardware can buy us peace. This meeting must not end as another ceremonial gathering. It must mark a turning point. We should leave this venue with a common northern position, a clear set of security priorities, and an agreed plan to engage the federal government with a view to see it in force. We must speak with one voice and act for one common purpose. On a final note, I would like to thank the Northern Traditional Rural Council for calling this essential meeting today, and I extend our profound gratitude to the Jigawa State Government for being an excellent host. Let us join hands as governors, traditional rulers, and citizens to reclaim our communities, rebuild our rural economies, and restore hope across northern Nigeria and indeed Nigeria at large. History will not judge us by the number of meetings we attend or the speeches we deliver. It will judge us by whether we bequeath our children a northern Nigeria that is safe, secure, and prosperous. I thank you all for listening. God bless you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much indeed. Let's have another